What if I told you that right now, in this very moment, the global order is being rewritten faster than at any point since the end of the Cold War? And most people have absolutely no idea it's happening. Welcome back to World Geopolitics Daily. Today we're breaking down the biggest geopolitical stories shaping the world right now, and trust me, you're going to want to stay until the end because the connections between these events tell a story that no single headline ever could. Let's start with the big picture. We are living through what analysts are calling a polycrisis, multiple overlapping geopolitical earthquakes happening simultaneously. From the ongoing reshaping of alliances in the Indo-Pacific to the economic Cold War between the United States and China, from the grinding conflict in Ukraine to the explosive instability across the Middle East, the world isn't just changing, it's fracturing along new and unexpected lines. So let's get into the key developments you need to understand right now. Point number 1. The US-China rivalry has entered a dangerous new phase. This is no longer just about tariffs and trade deficits. We're now seeing a full-spectrum competition that spans semiconductors, artificial intelligence, military posturing in the South China Sea, and even the race to secure critical minerals across Africa and Latin America. China has been accelerating its military modernization at a pace that has genuinely alarmed Pentagon officials, while simultaneously deepening economic partnerships through the Belt and Road Initiative and the BRICS expansion. Washington, meanwhile, is tightening export controls on advanced chips and rallying allies like Japan, South Korea, and the Netherlands to restrict technology transfers. What we're witnessing is the construction of two parallel economic ecosystems, and every country on Earth is being forced to choose which one to plug into. That choice will define the next 50 years. Point number 2. Europe is facing an identity crisis on the world stage. The war in Ukraine exposed something that many analysts had warned about for decades. Europe's dependence on external powers, whether it was Russian energy or American military protection, left it dangerously vulnerable. Now, European nations are scrambling to rearm, with defense spending surging across the continent. Germany alone has committed hundreds of billions to military modernization. But here's the tension. Europe still can't agree on a unified foreign policy. France wants strategic autonomy. Eastern European nations want closer ties with Washington. And the economic strain of supporting Ukraine while managing migration and inflation is fueling populist movements that threaten the very cohesion of the European Union. Europe is at a crossroads, and the path it chooses will determine whether it becomes a true geopolitical power or remains a collection of wealthy but strategically dependent nations. Point number 3. The Middle East is being reshaped in ways that would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. The Abraham Accords opened a door to normalization between Israel and several Arab states, but the ongoing conflict in Gaza has complicated that trajectory enormously. Meanwhile, Iran continues to expand its influence through proxy networks stretching from Lebanon to Yemen, and Saudi Arabia is executing one of the most ambitious economic transformation programs in modern history with Vision 2030. The region is simultaneously modernizing and destabilizing, and the withdrawal of consistent American attention has created a vacuum that multiple powers, including Russia, China, and Turkey, are eager to fill. Point number 4. The Global South is no longer content to sit on the sidelines. This might be the most underreported story in geopolitics right now. Nations across Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America are leveraging the great power competition to extract better deals for themselves. The expansion of BRICS to include countries like Egypt, Ethiopia, and the UAE signals a growing desire for an alternative to Western-dominated institutions like the IMF and World Bank. India, in particular, is playing a masterful balancing act, maintaining strong ties with both Washington and Moscow while positioning itself as the voice of the developing world. The old binary of East versus West is dissolving into something far more complex, a multipolar landscape where middle powers hold more leverage than ever before. Now here's the analysis that ties all of this together. What we're seeing is not random chaos. It's the painful, messy transition from a unipolar world dominated by the United States to a multipolar world where power is distributed among several competing centers. These transitions have historically been the most dangerous periods in international relations. The last time we saw a shift this significant, it preceded 2 world wars. Now, I'm not saying we're headed for a global conflict, but I am saying that the guardrails, the institutions, the treaties, the norms that prevented great power wars for the last 8 decades are weaker than they've been in living memory. The question isn't whether the world order is changing. It is. The question is whether we can manage that change without catastrophe. And that's why understanding geopolitics matters. Not just for policymakers and generals, but for all of us. Because these shifts affect everything, from the price of groceries to the security of your data to whether your country goes to war. If this video helped you see the bigger picture, smash that like button and subscribe to World Geopolitics Daily so you never miss an update. And drop a comment below telling me which of these stories you think deserves a deep dive next. I read every single comment, and your input shapes what we cover. Until next time, stay informed and stay curious.